Hello, fans and case fans and, well, everybody. This video is about a sound meter that I got on Temu because I really want to be able to accurately measure the sound produced by these devices that I'm going to be testing and reporting on to you, because I know some of you are very, very sensitive for one reason or another to loud noises. Now, there are some people who just have very sensitive ears and other people who cannot filter out what they're hearing, like people with autism tend not to be able to filter out any of their sensory input. But some people just are or choose to be hypersensitive to noise. I used to be sensitive to noise to the point where one day my upstairs neighbor, her alarm started going off and she wasn't turning it off. So I jumped up to smack the ceiling like I usually do, and I put my hand through the ceiling. That was not good. Anyways, so this review is of the Habotest HT602B sound level meter. It measures in dBA and dBC. You get to choose. And then it's made by Dongguan Habotest Instrument Technology Company Limited, and that, of course, is in China. And I was very hopeful that this would be a useful tool, but I noticed a problem. Number one, the numbers, when I turned it on, immediately the numbers were all over the place. So you can put it on slow mode, in which case you're not going to see it changing every fraction of a second, and it changes more often than just 1 second, but still not a lot. But what I saw also was that this will give you relative humidity, and it'll give you the temperature, which is useful for me, but not necessary. I have other tools I can use for that. But for whatever reason, when I look at this thing and I look at the measurements it's giving me, like right now, I'll just stop. I'm going to stop talking and we'll see what it says, because it's not noisy in here. Now, if it was on fast, it'd be like that. And you can see it's on dBA. And you can see the relative humidity and the temperature. Additionally, let me just switch hands. This is to protect the microphone. And you'll get a little bit more of a higher reading with this off. But if you notice, the readings are spiking into the 70s as I speak. And it's in the 30s otherwise. There is no way the background noise in my apartment is in the 30s. I even turned off my air filter, which I have over there. So the nearest noise is coming from my computer, which, if I put it by the computer, it's really not showing any significant difference. And the noise level from the computer is maybe 18 decibels. So this is really frustrating. And it does come with a windscreen, and there is the condenser mic. It isn't, I don't know if this is omnidirectional or not. It doesn't really, I would assume it would have to be, because if it's not an then that's going to make it very difficult for it to accurately measure the level of noise in the room. But this should be dropping down really low when I'm not speaking. Now I'm going to open up one of my apps on my phone, and I'm going to see what it's going to show me for the actual decibels. And I've tried to calibrate this one by going into an empty room that's very quiet. And right now it's giving me a reading, and I'll show you. Now, is that perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it's much more accurate. So if we compare, I'm going to just put down the microphone for a minute so you can see the two of them side by side. Don't you think there's something funny going on here? I certainly do. And I say this for good reason, and that is it's going up into the 70s. Now, you get to 80, extended exposure to 80 and above can do definitely will do damage to your ears, permanent damage. And even in the 70s, if you are exposed to it long enough, it'll do damage. There is no 70 decibel noise in my apartment right now. My voice isn't even that close. So this is really frustrating for me. Now, it does have some features that I'll tell you about. But you should be aware that you'll want to invest in rechargeable batteries because this brand does not have rechargeable batteries. This takes 3 AAAs. And unlike regular alkaline batteries, rechargeable batteries don't leak. And they can be recharged. So you can use them again and again instead of filling up the landfill with them. So you can have it set to hold. So you see a reading you want to hold on to, so to speak. You can press the H and this one right here, the H, and there's also a little light thing, and that will hold the current measurement. Like that. So now I'm talking, nothing's happening. I'll turn it off again. Also, you can turn the backlight on and off by holding it with a long press. And of course, that's your power button. I don't know if it does anything other than power. It doesn't appear to, but you do have to long press it either way. You can also have it show you the highest or lowest reading. So that's the maximum, and if you go above that maximum, it'll adjust it. Oh! See? Then you can have it show you the lowest possible reading you've gotten. And since it's not properly measuring the room, it's not going to go lower. And then you can go back to normal somehow. I always forget how to. Oh, I know. Long press. There we go. Now the temperature has gone up a degree or so. Lastly, again, you can do the monitoring speed is with this one here, FS, fast and slow. There's slow. And then you can change between Celsius and Fahrenheit by using the CF button here. And if you hold it, you can switch to dBA. dBA measures according to the way our ears perceive sound, and dBA does something else which I don't recall because it's not important to me. And maybe not to you as well. Anyways, so the instructions say that this was calibrated at the factory. And they do give you a nice felt bag that you can store it in when you're not using it. I would not suggest leaving the batteries in it, especially if you don't use it on a regular basis. But if this was calibrated in the factory must have been, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. my batteries ran out before I could go in the bedroom and see how quiet it was in there without the air filter on. So I can't tell you what kind of a reading it got there, but it was definitely too high because I did do it. I just don't remember what it was. I did it the other day. Now, we're going to do one more thing. I have a program called Audacity, which is used for looking at sound, measuring it and stuff. So if I can remember how to do this, we are going to watch it evaluate the sound. Okay, I found some batteries, and it says UL for the minimum. What does UL mean? I don't know, but it got to 30, which it is definitely not 30 in my bedroom. With the door closed, the only thing I could hear was the wind chimes that are right out here on my balcony, and my bedroom's way over there. So, yeah, UL. And so once it dipped below 30, it went to UL. And that's what happened to me the other day when I tested in my bedroom as well. So for some reason, it doesn't seem to be able to handle noise levels below 30, which is weird. But yeah, that is what it says here in the manual. The manual's range is indicated as 30 to 130 dBA. Why start at 30? That's just stupid. And here, I'll just show you. Oh, that doesn't work very well, does it? Not so easy to read. All right, fine. You convinced me. I'll read it to you. 30 to 80 hertz. Dynamic range is 50 decibels. Accuracy is plus or minus 1.5 decibels. 94 decibels at 1 kilohertz. And plus or minus 5 decibels. 94 decibels at 8 kilohertz. Frequency weighting, and C weighting for Model B. Time, fast, 125 milliseconds for sampling and time waiting, and then the slow one is 1 second. Microphone is an electrical condenser, or electret condenser is what they've got written in here. Additionally, for the temperature, the range is minus 20 to 60 degrees Celsius, which is minus 4 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Good Lord, I hope it's never 140 degrees in here. Accuracy, 0 to 45 degrees Celsius, which is 32 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit, is plus or minus 1 degree Celsius, plus or minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Other than that, it's plus or minus 1.5 degrees Celsius and 3 Fahrenheit. Humidity range is 0 to 99.9%. Accuracy is from 20 to 80%, is plus or minus 5% relative humidity. Other than that, it is going to be plus or minus 6%. Operating conditions, 0 to 50 degrees Celsius, less than 80 degrees relative humidity, altitude less than 2,000 meters. Storage conditions, blah, blah, remove the battery. Auto power off after 10 minutes. So this is, not only is it inaccurate in evaluating sound, but it is not useful for a normal situation like this where you have to measure something that's quiet. So this is, yeah. I think you get the idea. Now, I did try to do it in my in Audacity. I got the measurement. I forgot how I got the measurement because I was very, very sleepy. But it was 20.5 decibels in this room with my microphone being over here. 20.5 decibels. Yeah. So, fortunately for me, Temu is very accommodating in refunding my money when I get a piece of junk like this. So I now have a sound meter that is useless to me, but I got it for free. I didn't have to return it. and they refunded my money. So that's the whole story of this piece of junk meter. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch with me, or watch me, and learn about this meter. If this is an example of what Habotest produces, well, to them. Thanks for watching again, and again, and again, and again. Have a great day.